Hi, this is Carter, Professor Carter with Macro, Principles of Macro. This is the ninth video in the series that gets us ready for the first homework. Here we're going to be looking at the profit savings investment nexus. Okay, it's going to be here number 9. We call this the profit savings investment nexus. Now it's a little bit misleading because profit and savings are going to be income account relation and investment is going to be the output account relation. So really profit savings on the income account side and investment on the output account side. But what we know is that we have a value added or a newly created output in the economic system or value in the economic system, which in our numeric example is going to be equal to $3. On the revenue side, that's going to be national income is going to be equal to wage revenue plus profit revenue is going to be this. Given the assumption that we made that the aggregate wage here is going to be equal to 1/3, that's going to be $1 in wage revenue and $2 in profit revenue. That's going to be mapped on the expenditure side with the aggregate expenditures. Aggregate expenditures are going to be equal to C plus I. Given the propensity to save out of wage revenue was 0 and the propensity to save out of profit revenue was 3/4, that gave us a total consumption expenditure in the macro system of $1.5 and a total investment in the macro system of $1.5. So this 1.5 plus 1.5 is of course equal to 3. This 1 plus 2 is of course equal to 3. We know that we have the relationship there between the revenue account and the expenditure account, right? We consider then the ratio of the profit over the capital. Okay, remember your capital here, A, is going to be equal to 5 macro dollars given. So we're going to have the profit rate. The profit rate is going to be equal to R, is going to be equal to the profit capital ratio. And we now have, since we've assumed a particular regime of distribution, we have a profit of $2 and a capital of $5. The dollars cancel out, giving you the pure number of 0.4. On the expenditure side, we got the capital accumulation rate or the growth rate of capital or growth rate of the input. That's going to just be the investment capital ratio. Okay, is going to be equal to, now given our macro assumptions here, we have $1.5 over $5. This is going to be equal to 0.3. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be mapping the relationship associated between those accounts. Okay, so we're going to put this in a quadrant. This is going to be in quadrant 4. All right, of our graph, and note that quadrant 4, this lower horizontal vertical axis is not negative values. These are going to be positive values of the capital accumulation rate or the growth rate. Okay, first we're going to put here, we're going to put our rho. All right, this is going to be equal to rho of 0.6. Okay, I'm going to construct a 45-degree line. Okay, this is going to be a 45-degree line, which is going to be here. Okay, so this 45-degree line, this just allows us to map the value on one axis over to the other. Okay, this is going to be, so what we're going to be doing, okay, is we're going to be putting the profit rate on the vertical axis, on the horizontal axis here, is going to be R is going to be equal to 0.4. And then we're going to have the growth rate is going to also be here. This is going to be the growth rate of capital is going to be equal to 0.3. And then this is also going to be mapped to this lower value of the, on that quadrant 4 portion of the vertical axis. Okay, that allows then the growth rate of capital to be mapped over to the to that vertical axis, which is going to be right here. Okay, that's going to be where it hits on the 45-degree line. This is going to be here. This is going to be your growth rate of capital, which is going to be equal to 0.3. And then what we do is we extend this out here. Okay, You take this down to here, okay? You have this value here. That's going to be the relationship between the growth rate of capital over the profit rate. You take this graph here, go from the origin here. This is going to be your savings propensity here. The savings propensity out of profit revenue is going to be equal to 3/4. Here on the 45-degree line, the savings propensity is equal to 1. All right, which means that as we increase the savings propensity, we actually go down. We decrease the savings propensity, we actually lift it up. And then on the PowerPoint in the lecture, I go through that, okay? So this is going to be the relationship between the growth rate and the profit rate, showing the savings propensity out of profit in that fourth quadrant. Now, so what we look at here, we know that savings is going to be equal to the propensity to save out of profit revenue times the profit revenue, and we set that equal to investment. That's our macroeconomic balance condition. And all macro theory has to have some type of explanation about that, some theory about that. Some move from the revenue savings to investment expenditure. The other move from expenditure investment to savings revenue. Okay, looking at the different theories, but that's essentially what we're looking at. We're going to get into this when we actually introduce Keynes, and we're going to see that Keynes specifically moves the other way. In any event, if you were then solve for your beta sub pi, solving for your beta sub pi is going to be equal to, then you just go solve it, it's going to be I over Z. If you divide each of those if you divide the means of production into each of those, I over A and Z over A, you get the ratio of the capital stock over the profit rate. Okay, so this is going to be your beta sub pi is going to be equal to the ratio of capital stock, GA, the growth rate of capital stock over the profit rate. Okay, then you're going to draw the whole entire economy, all right? So this is going to be this is going to be equal to, rho is equal to 0.6. This is going to be, y is going to, well, let me actually go ahead and fill this in. All right, so you're going to have, then you're going to draw this on the, in your economy, in your graph. This is what I expect you to be able to do. On the top graph is going to be the distribution schedule, the productivity schedule. Well, we assume with the productivity schedule, where you had the productivity of capital on the horizontal, and you had the productivity of labor on the vertical. This is going to be here y. This is going to be y is equal to $3 per unit L. This is going to be your productivity schedule, which is going to be read up this way here. Okay, which is going to be there. Your profit rate from the particular system is going to be here. This is going to be the profit rate of 0.4. The growth rate of capital stock is going to be here. Okay, this is going to be the growth rate of capital stock here is going to be 0.3. Okay, this is going to then have you go up to here. Okay, so that's going to be your profit rate. That's read up here. You come over here. You read off your rate, your wages. Okay, so this is going to be wages of $1. This is going to be profit of $2. Okay, 1 plus 2 is equal to $3 per unit L. You put the dollars there. Don't worry about that so much. Then you're going to have your capital. Okay, your growth rate of your growth rate of capital, which is going to be read here. Okay, and this is going to be read here. Okay, this represents here the consumption out of wage revenue, which is going to be equal to $1. Wages are equal to the consumption because the propensity to save is 0 for wages. Consumption of capitalists is going to be equal to 50 cents. So this is going to be the total consumption, which is going to be here. All right, I'll actually put it here. This then is going to be the total consumption of $1.5, which means that the remainder is going to be the investment, which is going to be here, investment of $1.5. Okay, that represents this portion there of the investment. Okay, I'll put this here as well. This is going to be your investment. Okay, we know we draw our 45-degree line. Okay, to draw this in terms of the put this here. All right, in terms of the space. Okay, you have a 45-degree line, which is going to be here. Okay, you take a 45-degree line, you come out to this. Let me make sure that's right. This one right here. Boom. There, yes. This is going to be right here. This is going to come on right here. And then you have your graph. This then is going to be the propensity to save. Propensity to save is going to be equal to 3/4. Okay, that's what I want you to do in your homework. All right, and I think I might actually have to look at the homework. I think I give you what happens if you change that up or everything, but that's what I hope to be able to get from you by Friday on your homework. Okay, I'll send it. I'll do a submit. I'll give a submission in Harvey, etc. We'll talk about that. Okay, take care. Bye.